Well, I'm sitting here with Brooke Barber, who is a graduate of the Omega School from several years ago. She came by to visit today, and I thought we'd like to have her talk a little bit about what's happened in her life since she went to school. When did you go to school?
I graduated here in 2006.
And how old were you when you graduated?
16.
You were 16.
Yeah.
So what's happened since?
When I left here, I got an internship the same month I graduated at Radio 1. I entered there for about like a month or a month and a half, and then I got a job. So I worked there for roughly 3 years, and then...
You mean the radio station hired you?
Yeah.
Oh, from the internship?
From the internship.
Very good.
Roughly 3 years. Earlier last year, February, right after I turned 19, I decided I wasn't learning anything more. I was stuck at a position where I didn't want to be, so I quit my job. I quit my job, and I did some searching. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I decided to start a company.
Okay.
My company's called One Star Entertainment. I started my company. I worked roughly a couple of days a week with my mom. Got some money, built the studio in my basement. I started making income from that.
Okay. Then
a couple of months later, a friend of mine from the radio station, I had trained her. She's a singer. So,
you had trained her doing what?
How to engineer the boards at the radio station.
Okay.
She's a singer. She needed some help with her studio setup at her house. So I helped her out, hooked everything up, and showed her how to get everything set. And then she told me she knew a guy named Chuck. I don't know.
Well, let's back up a little bit. You said you started doing some things and making some money at your own studio.
Yeah.
Well, how did you meet the people to make money?
Through live sound, yeah.
You're doing live sound?
Yeah, I did live sound. I don't do it anymore. Yeah.
Okay, but live sound is a great way to get to know working musicians.
Yeah.
That's for sure, okay.
So I started making money through that, and then when she told me she knew somebody named Chuck, we went to meet him, and then happened to be a guy named Chucky Thompson. So he liked me. We went out to eat that day, exchanged numbers. So after that, I hit him up roughly once a week if he had any work, so he can call me in, because he was looking for an assistant, but I wanted to engineer. So like a couple months after that, he started getting work in. I started going down there to engineer, intern, and training, and then now I'm his full-time engineer.
You're Chucky Thompson's full-time engineer.
Yeah.
what kind of things have you been working on?
I'm working on tracks for Chuck Brown, Lettucey, recording them. Some of his artists, Smitty, he's a rapper.
Okay.
That's basically it. And then I recorded some up-and-coming artists, Phil Ade, Don Juan, Keontae. I recorded everything on Keontae's album. His album's coming out the 23rd of February. So I get all my credits and everything. So
Okay.
I'm kind of excited.
So you're engineering every day?
Every day.
So did you expect to be able to get this kind of success when you went to school?
No, didn't really expect it this fast. Especially when I quit my job. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Well, even at that, you picked up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Were able to make a living as an engineer.
Yeah.
How long after you graduated from school before you were actually working as a professional engineer at the radio station?
At the radio station? Oh, a couple of months.
Only a couple of
Yeah,
months?
I learned really fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were employed there for a couple of years?
Yeah.
And now you're doing what you wanted to do?
Yeah. What I went to school for, what I like to do, music.
You like it?
Yeah.
You happy?
I'm happy.
Thanks for coming back.
You're welcome.
Brooke Barber, graduate from Omega Studios School, and now she's a professional engineer, and she's working on hits.